Passo qui con molto piacere il testimone all'avvocato Stefano Mele che vi presenterà i prossimi speaker internazionali.
Grazie mille, buongiorno a tutti. Per me è un grandissimo piacere come sempre essere qui e soprattutto, almeno in questa fase iniziale, introdurre due speaker d'eccezione su un tema che, come potete immaginare, mi sta molto a cuore, che è quello della cyber policy a livello di Unione Europea, in particolar modo legata alla direttiva NIS2. Avremo un panel con prestigiosissimi colleghi e amici di qui a poco. In particolar modo il tema dell'Unione Europea è sicuramente, di quello che l'Unione Europea sta facendo in materia di cyber security, è sicuramente uno dei temi principali. Non vi sarà sfuggito che il 27 dicembre del 2022 ben 4 normative sono entrate in Gazzetta Ufficiale dell'Unione Europea, tutti e 4 riguardano la cyber security. Quindi è indubbia la direzione che il legislatore, soprattutto europeo, sta tenendo in questi ultimi anni, una barra dritta sempre più portata e spostata verso il tema della protezione delle informazioni, ancor prima che dei dati personali, e soprattutto della salvaguardia dell'erogazione delle funzioni essenziali delle nostre principali aziende e delle pubbliche amministrazioni. Sicuramente saranno questi i temi che tratteremo successivamente, ma senza togliere troppo tempo agli speaker, io chiamerei sicuramente il video di Bart Groothuis, del Parlamento europeo, che approfondirà proprio questo tema, approfondirà il tema della direttiva NIS2, approfondirà il tema di cosa il Parlamento europeo sta facendo per il nostro settore. Quindi prego di mandare il video.
Dear Italian cyber friends, welcome to CyberSec 2023. Some of you might know me as I was Director for Cybersecurity at the Dutch Ministry of Defense for 7 years, and welcome to all of my acquaintances there in Rome. Ciao. Now, for the past 3 years, I am an MEP, a member of European Parliament, and fortunately the European Parliament has asked me to become the rapporteur on cybersecurity. And for the past years, we've made a new cybersecurity directive for Europe, the NIS2, which makes more than 100,000 new critical, vital entities in Europe better protected in the digital domain. Companies, but also governments and public administration bodies, but also people from manufacturing, telecommunications, water and energy, all have to comply with new cybersecurity rules. But even better, and I think the most important thing of this legislation is that we made the cybersecurity community work again. I come from that community. I know your needs, your worries. So we try to make the information sharing arrangements better. There's a new legal basis on which you can again share information amongst each other to better protect what is of value to Italy and to Europe. But the NIS2 does much more. We also asked from all the governments in the European Union to take a more proactive stance. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Now let's also look at another file that the European Union is working on. It's the Cyber Resilience Act, because the NIS2 is about entities, vital and critical entities who need to protect themselves better against cyber threats. Resilience Act is to better make sure that our products are safe. The Internet of Things, for example, very important file. It's coming in the European Parliament in the next year, and I will make sure we get the best legislation there that is possible. And I urge you as a community to take a look at that and ask your government to take a good stance, because the scope and what it means for consumer electronics is very, very important. We need to get that right. Most important, dear friends from the cybersecurity community, most important is not the legislation that comes out of Europe. Most important is what you do in Italy. Forming a new cybersecurity center, extremely important. The new strategy, including an implementation plan from Rome, is of utmost importance. And I urge you to take the proactive stance here, not just waiting, reactively sharing after an incident has occurred, but I ask you to make plans to actually stop attacks from occurring, to actually thwart them. And that is a new phase that we're entering with the European Union. Let me name the first one. The first thing I'm thinking about, what we can do in Europe, is to use DNS, the domain name service as we have it. With our internet service provider, we can easily thwart and stop and block domains and IP addresses, but especially domains, I think, from occurring. Why would we allow, when we know malware is being served on someone's computer or mobile phone, why would an internet service provider allow that? Just block it and make a process of that across Europe. Once we have that in place, we have a shield, a real shield, a new phase of active defense. But it's not the only active defense we need. I know Italy is very, very good at cybersecurity. I've had my experiences in Rome with some of the colleagues there. And I urge you to use the sentence and make it into practice that sunlight is often the best disinfectant. Put out there what Russians, what Chinese, what the Iranians and Koreans, what they're doing. Put out there what the ransomware groups are doing. They don't like it to be in the media. Burn their operations. Make sure the cybersecurity community knows about it, what they're doing, what they're using. Don't be too protective of your information. Share it. The new NIS2 legislation gives a basis for much of that, but it also requires political courage. That's what I ask you, to make a proactive movement out of this. Last but not least, dear Italian friends, we all struggle with the hardware coming from authoritarian regimes like Russia, China, Iran, Korea, and how to deal with that inside of our own critical infrastructure. And I urge you to take a good look at that. And I want you to be able to ask Europe that you need legislation, demand legislation, that we unify and harmonize our approach to such vendors. I don't think, personally, in our vital infrastructure, any hard or software from China, Russia or Iran should be present, because those countries have an official law that requires every citizen, every company to comply with any request of the Chinese or Russian government, and they will do so. They will do so extraterritorially, inside your country, inside our European Union. And in telecommunications, for example, we have a European telecommunications market. Make sure that we guard and protect ourselves better in this way. That is new legislation we still need to come from Europe. Help us from Italy as we help you from Brussels to get your things together. And you all know quite well how to do that. I congratulate you on the creation of your cybersecurity center. I congratulate you on your new strategy. I congratulate you with your implementation plan. But let's congratulate ourselves in the next 2 years that we made even better plans, sharper, more proactive, to keep Europe safe, and especially keep Italy safe. Ciao, cari amici. We see and we meet each other another time. Always welcome in Brussels. Please know how to find me if you have any questions or remarks. We see each other. Enjoy the day. Ciao.
Grazie. Oltre la enorme simpatia e la grande capacità comunicativa, l'onorevole Groothuis ha mandato dei messaggi molto chiari, ritengo, no? È molto chiara la direzione dell'Unione Europea in questo momento sul piano normativo. Noi ci focalizzeremo sulla direttiva NIS2, ma avete sentito parlare anche del Cyber Resilience Act per cercare di anticipare il problema della cyber security, o cercare appunto, non risolvere ma cercare. E anche una direzione molto chiara in relazione ad alcuni paesi che l'Unione Europea evidentemente vede come più critici rispetto a altri, almeno in questa fase, sul tema della cyber security.